John, with Dad at the beach. Caroline all grown up. John all grown up. Kennedy, the name is magic, almost royalty. And our inside story for Thursday, the 17th of November, 1988.
Hi, everybody. I'm John Tesh.
And I'm Mary Hart. Kennedy, the name that spells magic, the name that comes closer than any other to royalty in the United States. The dynasty lives on today, the next generation now grown. And that's our inside story for today.
The rain may never fall till after sundown. By 8, the morning fog must disappear.
It seemed like a magical time. The Kennedy dynasty flourished, and the public couldn't get enough news of what JFK and Jackie and the kids were doing. And all the glamour, the mystique, the magic didn't stop the day Kennedy died. Today, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis is still one of the most famous women in the world, and one of the most private. But put her face on any cover, and the magazine sells big. People want to know what Jackie is doing. She lives here in New York on Fifth Avenue, in a 14-room apartment, and she guards her privacy carefully. Jackie works as a book editor and recently helped Michael Jackson edit his autobiography, Moonwalk. The foreword she wrote is about as public as Jackie gets, calling Michael Jackson sensitive, warm, and funny. However, the tabloids haven't been as kind to the woman who once married billionaire Aristotle Onassis. This story focuses on what's called the secret world of Jackie O, reporting she lives with businessman Maurice Templesman, who's worth an estimated $500 million. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis is constantly photographed in public. These pictures by paparazzi Ron Galella, who got too close. And in 1982, the court ordered him to stay away from the Kennedy family.
When John gets married or becomes president or an actor, or when Caroline gets married, likewise, that's where I'll be frustrated and it will hurt.
JFK's son, John, captured the heart of the country and was the delight of the dynasty, a young man many thought would follow in his father's footsteps. Today, John F. Kennedy Jr. is a third-year law student, and he was a big hit at the Democratic Convention.
Over a quarter century ago, my father stood before you to accept the nomination for the presidency of the United States.
John Jr. has also dabbled in acting and, not surprisingly, was chosen the sexiest man alive this year by People magazine.
It didn't escape our attention that a number of women on the staff found him enormously attractive.
JFK's daughter Caroline was father's favorite little girl, and she became the darling of the White House. She grew up and married artist and inventor Edwin Schlossberg and has a daughter named Rose. Caroline has finished Columbia Law School. She took the bar exam and is thinking about specializing in entertainment law. The children of JFK's brother Ted play a big role in today's dynasty. Senator Kennedy recently campaigned side by side with his son Patrick. It paid off. Patrick Kennedy was just elected to the Rhode Island state legislature at the age of 21, and he hasn't even finished college yet. But there's been turmoil in Ted's family. His marriage to Joan, a recovering alcoholic, ended in 1982, and today she lives quietly in Boston. Their eldest son, Ted Kennedy Jr., lost a leg to cancer at the age of 12, and the world watched his rehabilitation. And his father's presidential ambitions ended abruptly when an accident at Chappaquiddick took the life of a female friend. JFK's other brother, Robert, was U.S. Attorney General, and this year his son, Joseph Kennedy II, campaigned in traditional fashion and won re-election as a Massachusetts congressman. But his mother, Ethel, has suffered, first through her husband's assassination, and then when son David Kennedy died at the age of 28 from an overdose of drugs. Once again, the serenity of the dynasty was shattered. Kennedy biographer Doris Kearns Goodwin believes tragedy increases the public's fascination with the family.
Somehow I think it's the combination of this incredible success and then the vulnerability, on the other hand, to instant death that makes us all feel drawn into their story.
The most visible member of today's Kennedy generation, JFK's niece, Maria Shriver. The NBC anchorwoman married superstar Arnold Schwarzenegger and became an instant media sensation. But the Kennedy clan is tight, and they don't talk in public about their place in history. It will be up to others to judge whether the magic remains.
Here in Camelot.
It was the early afternoon of the 22nd of November, 1963. The soap opera As the World Turns was interrupted by a CBS News bulletin graphic. Then came the voice of Walter Cronkite with word that President Kennedy had been shot. Thus began 53 hours of reporting that would put television news into a new frontier. Tonight, CBS will rebroadcast highlights of that historic broadcast on a program titled 4 Days in November, The Assassination of President Kennedy.
7 years ago, Natalie Wood died tragically while on a weekend getaway on Catalina Island. Today, questions still remain about her death, and family and friends, like her personal photographer, wonder what might have been.
She was looking forward to growing into doing theater, television movies, and I think she would probably become queen of the miniseries.
So tomorrow, we look at the facts and we share in the terrible drama of what might have been Wood's last moments. That's in tomorrow's Inside Story.
Coming up next, Robin Givens is swinging at Mike Tyson with a $125 million knockout lawsuit. We have the details. And later, Steve Guttenberg leads us on a quest for the scariest ghosts in Hollywood's history.
Just a few weeks ago, actress Robin Givens claimed she wanted no money from her estranged husband, Mike Tyson, in their bitter divorce fight. Yesterday, she delivered a $125 million right jab in the form of a libel suit. She claims Tyson ruined her good name by calling her the slime of the slime. Tyson is fighting back, and we have the inside story. The libel suit stems from a November 7th article in the New York Post. In addition to the slime of the slime quote, it also refers to several other statements, including one by Tyson in which he says Givens stole from him and tried to turn him into an imbecile. Legal papers filed by Givens' attorneys say those statements were damaging to her reputation and career.
Well, you'd think this guy had the best deal in the world. He had a wife who wanted no money, and he just sort of signed the dotted line and be finished. But I believe that he just doesn't want to end it, and it seems to go on and on. There's one nonsensical thing after another, and we just can't terminate with this fellow.
This lawsuit is another offensive maneuver and a vicious maneuver, in my opinion. What Mike said in that article, he said because he believed it to be true.
The war of words erupted after the now legendary interview with the couple by Barbara Walters on ABC's 2020. Tyson was reportedly enraged at Givens' comments in which she said his fiery temper was at the root of their marital problems. Givens later renounced any intention to sue for money as part of a divorce settlement, but she's still sensitive to accusations that she's out to get the champ's fortune.
Every dime after expenses will go to charities. As a matter of fact, this morning, Robin and I spoke about various charities. We haven't agreed on where it's going to go. And so I think we're going to distribute some of Mr. Tyson's wealth to more needy people at any rate.
Givens' lawyer also told us that he and Tyson's lawyer were on track toward reaching a settlement in the divorce case. He says he sees no reason why the libel suit should derail the divorce talks. In an unrelated development, we've learned that Givens will take a short hiatus from her ABC series Head of the Class to star in The Penthouse. It's a made-for-television movie.
It took months of tough negotiating and schedule juggling to reassemble the blockbuster cast from Cocoon. But the producers pulled it off. Last night at the Hollywood premiere, the world got to see what the movie stars have been raving about. Seafood was the cuisine at a benefit premiere for Cocoon: The Return. It's the sequel to the fantasy about underwater aliens. It has also resurrected Hollywood's senior community.
Now tell me, you two on vacation or what?
We came down to see old friends.
Far and away, the greatest percentage of people that stopped me on the streets were young people. And because of that, why, it gave me a great deal of joy to think that maybe I might be of some value to these people. You know, maybe it'd help them a little bit.
Maureen Stapleton, Wilford Brimley, Jessica Tandy, husband Hume Cronin, Don Amici, and Gwen Verdon returned to Earth to visit Jack Gilford to save the aliens left behind. Young whippersnapper Steve Guttenberg is also an original cast member.
I don't believe it.
Raquel Welch's daughter, Tawny, recreates her sexy alien role, and Courtney Cox is the newcomer who makes a startling discovery.
Call Dr. Barron.
Right.
It'll make you cry and laugh, and again, it has all the wonderful things from the first movie.
Cocoon: The Return will open in theaters nationwide next Wednesday.
Well, Jack Gilford segues right out of Cocoon directly into the arms of a golden girl in Saturday night's episode of the NBC series. It looks like the show's 4 roommates might have to make room for a 5th.
Ma, what is going on here?
Afterglow.
Nice to see you again, Dorothy. You too, Mr. Weinstock. When did you get in? Oh, you mean in town yesterday?
Golden-aged golden girl Sophia has fallen in love with her late husband's former business partner, played by veteran character actor Jack Gilford.
This is a very quick romance, of which my daughter is very suspicious. I mean, it all happens very quickly.
As well I should be.
Absolutely, I agree.
I am disappointed. I'm speechless.
We're getting married.
I'm very lightheaded.
We're so thrilled that whatever happens, Jack Gilford is playing the part,
Yeah.
so that makes it great for all of us.
And
he's so precious.
Yeah.
You can move in with us as far as I'm concerned. Well, almost anybody could move in with you.
The 2-part wedding episode is supposed to feature a surprise or two, but you can bet on the girls getting plenty of laughs.
Don't you have to be a virgin to wear a white wedding dress?
Please, the last time I was a virgin, the Louisiana Purchase was still in escrow.
We have a confidential source who tells us that the relationship will last only 2 episodes. The show's producers won't confirm that for us. They want you to tune in to find out how the story unfolds.
4 years ago, Miami Vice was the most stylish, innovative show on television. Today, according to its producers, it's now part of television history. Executive producer Michael Mann says this is the last season for the trend-setting cop show. Of course, high-speed boats were part of the mix of fast cars, beautiful people, and high-powered firearms that framed many of Vice's storylines. In real life, the show's star, Don Johnson, is addicted to speed on water. It looked like a scene right out of Johnson's TV series, only it was the World Championships of offshore boat racing in Key West. In something of an upset, Johnson clinched the title in the superboat class. But he's no stranger to danger. Those high-speed chases on Miami Vice may have helped him along.
For a while, we were pushing 100 most of the way. You know, when we were running neck and neck with the other boats, we were 100, 105.
And while locking up the title was indeed a satisfying experience, there are other awards he hopes to capture as well.
An Oscar would be nice.
No word from Johnson about his plans to defend his ocean racing championship title.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with Steve Guttenberg and some of his ghoulish friends. Today's a big day for Mr. Potato Head. For last year's Great American Smokeout, he kicked his 35-year habit of puffing on a pipe. In Hollywood, the timeless Spud was surrounded by fans and fitness guru Jake Steinfeld to celebrate one smoke-free year. Then Jake put the now pudgier Potato through a workout to trim his waistline. Next, he'll have to give up sour cream.
Steve Guttenberg stars with Daryl Hannah, Peter O'Toole, and Beverly D'Angelo in a new comic ghost story romp called High Spirits. While making the movie, Guttenberg became acquainted with some of Hollywood's other ghostly efforts. He'll give us a spine-tingling tour that begins with the movie he knows best.
Jack, don't stand there and tell me that you're having an affair with a ghost.
Oh, I am.
No.
In High Spirits, Steve Guttenberg plays Jack Crawford, who's trying to repair his crumbling marriage. Instead, he falls in love with a ghost.
This is Mary.
No, Martin.
But Mary the ghost has a jealous husband who murders her every night. Only Jack's love can break the spell.
If you loved me, the miracle could happen.
Oh, boy, is that guy in trouble. You know, a good ghost story is probably the most gripping of film fantasy because it plays on the fear of the unknown. And with a good screen ghost and good special effects, almost anything's possible.
A ghost can appear as a gust of wind, a misty shape, a face in a knocker, a strangling hand, a floating head.
I'll never let you marry Meg. You belong to me, Tom. You belong to a ghost.
Now, that woman really knows how to get ahead, doesn't she? You know, Hollywood didn't always take these ghost stories very seriously. In the 30s and the 40s, they were mainly fun-filled romps through haunted houses.
I thought you were a ghost.
Lou Costello is spooked by his own ghostly self and that of co-star Marjorie Reynolds in the time of their lives. Ghostly gags are all around as Costello haunts his mortal sidekick, Bud Abbott.
Hello.
And the ghosts are delightfully silly.
It's a zombie! It ain't Baby Snook!
Bob Hope's crackerjack wit amidst zombies and ghosts in a haunted house made the 1940 film Ghostbreakers a real hit.
Don't look now, but Grandpappy is having a nightmare.
Of course, no one took these ghosts seriously. In Topper, a fatal accident turns Cary Grant and Constance Bennett into two of the most fun-loving ghosts ever.
Who's that?
It's us. You know something, George? I think we're dead.
Undaunted by their ghostly aspect, the two try to spice up life for the stoic Mr. Topper, played by Roland Young.
Dematerializing. Watch. It works like a zipper. Zip.
But a serious ghost movie never reveals its ghosts. It implies a strange, unseen presence with definite evil in the air.
The haunted house in the 1944 film The Uninvited has a real spooky feel. Flowers wilt mysteriously, a cat refuses to go upstairs, and eerie voices are heard out of nowhere. The 1951 version of A Christmas Carol starring Alistair Sim has some of the most convincing screen ghosts ever.
In life, I was your partner. Jacob, man.
Oh. Some ghost movies sacrifice mood for shock. In House on Haunted Hill, Vincent Price hosts a ghastly all-night party with some ghosts you can really lay your hands on.
So whether it's a cackling green blob or just a gust of wind, it's probably just the house settling. I
think. Good stuff. Thank you, Steve Gutenberg. High Spirits will materialize in theaters nationwide tomorrow.
Ronald Reagan's 55th and last state dinner as president was held last night in Washington in honor of British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. It was a glittering finale to the glamour the Reagans first brought to the White House 8 years ago. The guest list for President Reagan's glittering farewell dinner included personalities from politics, entertainment, business, and even the world of sports. But this was definitely a night for the Reagans and their special friend Margaret Thatcher.
Those who love freedom have not had a better friend than our distinguished guest this evening.
Mr. President, you've been more than a staunch ally and wise counselor. You've also been a wonderful friend to me and my country.
What thoughts were on the minds of the White House visitors at this sentimental send-off?
Being hungry.
They brought a great amount of elegance and style for the country.
I'm very fond of both of them, apart from any politics. I mean, they're a lovely couple, and they're a lovely couple to be around, and they're just terrific people.
Well, according to sources, the red satin evening gown worn by Mrs. Reagan was very real Oscar de la Renta. The jewels, however, were costume.
When we come back, the insider sizes up Imelda Marcos' shoes. Celebrating a birthday today, actor William R. Moses is 29. Actor Danny DeVito, 44. Actress Lauren Hutton is also 44. Singer Gordon Lightfoot is 50. And actor Peter Cook, 51.
The ET Insider is reminded of the day in 1986 when Ferdinand Marcos was ousted as president of the Philippines. He and wife Imelda were faced with the age-old dilemma of leaders fleeing the country. So much to pack, so little time. Pack the cash, pack the gold, pack the jewels. The trunks are full, Imelda. We'll have to leave the shoes. It was a big story at the time, the leaving behind of 2,400 pairs of Imelda's shoes. The Insider felt it was covered in exhaustive detail from every angle. The world knew everything there was to know about Imelda's shoes, and so the Insider was shocked to see that the renowned New York Times had to print a correction on an article concerning Imelda Marcos' appearance at an arraignment hearing in Manhattan. It said her shoe size was 7 narrow. Everybody knows that she wears a size 8.5.
Actor Sean Penn, well known for his on-screen triumphs and off-screen troubles, returned to the stage last night in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles opening of Hurly Burly brought an audience full of celebrities, including Madonna, for good reason. The play, which explores the lives of people in show business, has her husband, Sean Penn, in the starring role.
I genuinely think it's the best contemporary American play, and that David Rabe is the most exciting of the playwrights, the most passionate.
Hollywood's royalty gathered in Beverly Hills to honor Charlton Heston and wife Lydia with the Albert Schweitzer Leadership Award for their leader-like attributes in the entertainment industry.
I think it's significant in that it has to do with young people. You know, you're talking about the future.
And Shirley Temple fans got in line to get an autographed copy of her book, Child Star. Traveling the country promoting her autobiography, Shirley Temple Black is thrilled with the response from her fans.
The love and affection I'm getting on this tour is unbelievable.
And in New York, the fashion world showed it cared with a celebrity fashion show and auction to raise money for AIDS. And today we have our own award to present from Keyboard Magazine, which conducted its readers' poll. The winner for Best New Talent of 1988 is John Tesh, my own partner. There you go.
Thanks, Mary.
Congratulations.
And thanks to all your readers of Keyboard who did this. I only voted for myself once, maybe.
No, come on. He is wonderfully talented. You'll be performing in Minneapolis this weekend, right?
Yes, with Yanni's band, and we have some video here, I think, of a performance in San Francisco with Yanni.
Great. What is it?
It's Sandance.
Well, we're going to watch it.
Take care, everybody. Thanks.